Hello everybody and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be sharing my NBA predictions with you guys. So yeah, this is for the 2019-2020 NBA season, the last season of this decade, of course. So I'm going to be saying my standings predictions first, then I'm going to be going on to the playoffs, the championship or finals or whatever you want to call it, and then the awards, season awards, and the finals MVP and stuff like that. So let's start off with the Western Conference standings. So at the first seed I have the Utah Jazz, second seed I have the Denver Nuggets, the third seed I have the Los Angeles Clippers, the fourth seed I have the Los Angeles Lakers, fifth seed I have the Houston Rockets, sixth seed I have the Golden State Warriors, seventh seed I have the Portland Trail Blazers, the eighth seed I have the San Antonio Spurs, barely making it into the playoffs. At the ninth seed I have the Dallas Mavericks, and at the 10th seed I have the New Orleans Pelicans. The 11th seed I have the Sacramento Kings, the 12th seed the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the 13th seed the Phoenix Suns, the 14th seed the Minnesota Timberwolves, and last, and actually probably least, I was about to say not least, but they probably are the worst team in the West, the Memphis Grizzlies. So yeah, I have the Jazz winning that because they're a really good team. They have Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year. What's his name? Donovan Mitchell at shooting guard. He's really good at everything. They have Joe Ingles, pretty good player. And yeah, they're just a really good team. Then at the number 2 seed, I have the Denver Nuggets because they're a young team. They're very good in the regular season. Come playoff time, I'm not sure, but yeah. At the 3rd seed, I have the Clippers. They have amazing depth, except I don't think Kawhi and Paul George are going to play many games. Well, they are going to play games, but probably not 82 games. Paul George is already out for the first part of the season, recovering from surgery. But yeah, at the 4th seed, Lakers, their depth is kind of bad. I think they're going to be carried by LeBron and Anthony Davis, and LeBron's LeBron. He's probably not going to play great defense. But yeah, 5th seed, I have Houston. They have a good duo. Okay depth, I guess. Yeah. 6th seed, Golden State. I think Stephen Curry and D'Angelo Russell can get it done, and then when Klay Thompson comes back, they'll be even better. So yeah. And then the Trailblazers, I think they're a better team than last season, except the West in total is just getting better. So they're going to fall to 7th seed, and then the 8th seed barely creeping in is the Spurs. I think they'll be good as long as they don't trade DeRozan and Aldridge to get into a late spot, but we never know. They might get traded mid-season, or maybe tomorrow, maybe they're being traded right now as I'm recording this, but I'm not sure. And then the rest, yeah. The Mavericks are a great team, but I don't think they're good enough to make the playoffs just yet. The Pelicans are a very good team. They're too young to make the playoffs, I'm pretty sure, though. They won't have enough experience. The Kings, they're pretty much the same team, minus their center, who is now a Warrior. But, yeah, so they're going to be dropping a bit. The Thunder are a pretty good team. I mean, it's a strong West, though, so they're a 12th seed. The Suns, I think they're improving because they're just developing. I mean, they'd lose some key pieces to their team, but that's all good. And then Minnesota and Memphis are just bad teams, in my opinion. And then I couldn't really decide between who's 14th and who's the 15th seed. So I just said Minnesota and then Memphis. So, yeah, going to the East now. For the first seed, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. The second seed, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. The third seed, I have the Boston Celtics. The fourth seed, I have the Toronto Raptors. The fifth seed, I have the Brooklyn Nets. The sixth seed, I have the Miami Heat. Seventh seed, I have the Indiana Pacers. The eighth seed, I have the Detroit Pistons. At the ninth seed, I have the Atlanta Hawks. The 10th seed, I have the Chicago Bulls, rather. 11th seed, I have the Orlando Magic. 12th seed, I have the New York Knicks. 13th seed, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. The 14th seed, I have the Washington Wizards. The 15th seed, I have the Charlotte Hornets. So, yeah, just going through this, the 76ers, I think, are the best team in the East. They're contenders to make the finals for sure. So, yeah, they're just a good team. They have Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid. What's his name? They have Al Horford, and yeah, they're just a good team. So yeah, second seed with the Milwaukee Bucks. They have Giannis, probably one of the best players in the NBA. I know he kind of got shut out by Kawhi last year in the playoffs, but it's all good. He's a great player, and they'll definitely win the second seed. And at third seed, I have the Celtics, because this is kind of a weak East, so it's kind of hard to rank these middle-ranked teams in the playoffs, because they're all kind of similar in talent. So yeah, third, I have the Celtics. And then fourth, I have the Toronto Raptors because I think they're a good team. They're definitely a contending team, even though they lost Kawhi. They have Pascal Siakam, who's developing. Fred VanVleet, who I think should be an all-star soon, to be honest. Kyle Lowry's pretty good still. He can be an all-star. And, yeah, they have Serge Ibaka, Marcus Gasol, who still got some stuff left in him. And, yeah, they can do stuff. They can do damage in the East. The Nets, they have Kyrie. They don't have Kevin Durant, most likely at least, for the whole season. So if that's how it goes, I think they'll be the 5th seed with Kyrie and DeAndre Jordan. At the 6th seed, I have Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat. I think Jimmy Butler will kind of have to carry these guys to the 6th seed. But yeah, at 7th, I have the Indiana Pacers. They're going to have Malcolm Brogdon, and they'll have Victor Oladipo soon. So that will be pretty cool. The 8th seed, I have the Detroit Pistons. I kind of wanted to put them higher, but then I thought all these other teams were kind of better than them right now, so I put them at the 8th seed. And the 9th seed, Hawks, because they're developing. They'll be in the playoffs soon. Bulls, same thing. They're got some really good young guys on their team. Magic, I don't think they should have re-signed a bunch of guys. I think they should rebuild, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, they got one game in the playoffs last year against the 2nd seed, and they think they're such a great team. I don't like them that much. At the Knicks, I think they're developing. They'll be pretty good soon. They're a young team. The Cavaliers, I just don't think they have a good roster outside of Kevin Love. Wizards and Hornets, kind of like the Timberwolves and Grizzlies, they're pretty bad, except for Bradley Beal. Both teams kind of suck, so yeah, I can rank them. I put the Wizards up one spot, though, because they have Bradley Beal, you know. You got to give them credit for that. So yeah, those were the playoffs, or not the playoffs, these were the standings, sorry. Let's go to the playoffs now. So starting off with the West, the first round, it's Jazz versus Spurs. Jazz, which are the 1st seed, playing the 8th seed Spurs. I think the Jazz will win in 5 games going to the 2nd round. And then it's Nuggets, the 2nd seed, versus Trailblazers, the 7th seed. I think the Nuggets will win in 6 games moving on to the 2nd round. And then it's Clippers versus 6th seed Warriors. Clippers are the 3rd seed. I think Clippers will sweep this series, winning in 4. So yeah, I think they're a great team, especially when the playoffs start. They'll be even better. And then we have the 4th seed Lakers playing the 5th seed Rockets. I have the Lakers winning this in 7. I think it will be a tight match up. And yeah, the Lakers will come out at the end. So then in the 2nd round, we have Lakers versus Jazz. Of course, Lakers are the 4th seed, Jazz are the 1st seed. I have the Lakers actually winning this in 7 also, kind of like their last series. So yeah, the Lakers move on to the Western Conference Finals. And then I have the Nuggets, who are the 2nd seed, playing the 3rd seed Clippers. I have the Clippers winning this in 5, moving on to the Western Conference Finals. And then I have Clippers, who are the 3rd seed, playing the Lakers, who are the 4th seed, a battle of Los Angeles, basically. And I have the Clippers winning this in 6 to move on to the NBA Finals. So now to the Eastern playoffs. I have the 76ers, the 1st seed, playing the 8th seed Pistons. I have the 76ers sweeping this, winning in 4. And then I have the Bucks, the 2nd seed, playing the Pacers, the 7th seed. I also have them sweeping this, winning in 4. And then I have the Celtics, the 3rd seed, going against the Heat, who are the 6th seed. I have the Celtics winning this in 5. The Raptors versus the 5th seed Nets. The Raptors are the 4th seed. I have them winning in 6 to move on to the 2nd round. And then in the 2nd round, I have the 76ers, the 1st seed, versus the Raptors, the 4th seed. The 76ers, I think, will win this series in 4, sweeping again. And then you have the 2nd seed Bucks playing the 3rd seed Celtics. I think the Bucks will win this series in 6 to move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then it'll be 76ers, which is the 1st seed, versus the 2nd seed Bucks. And I think the Bucks will actually come out clutch in this series and win in 7 games. Well, it's a very close series in my opinion. So now let's move on to the finals, which will be the 2nd seed Bucks versus the 3rd seed Clippers, and the Clippers I think will win this in 7. Also another close matchup with Giannis carrying the Bucks, but I think Kawhi will shut him down again and they will win in 7. So yeah, now let's look at some awards. I think Finals MVP will go to Kawhi Leonard. I think he'll carry the Clippers in the finals with Paul George, yes, but he'll be the better player probably. MVP, I have Giannis because he's a great player. Giannis Antetokounmpo. I can say his last name, but I think he'll win MVP back-to-back now. I mean, you could argue that James Harden could win because he's always putting up really good numbers, but not getting credit for it, it seems like. But yeah, I have Giannis winning it again. Defensive Player of the Year, I have Anthony Davis winning this. I think he's a great defender. At Sixth Man of the Year, I have Lou Williams again. I think he'll be a great player off the bench for the Clippers. He'll be a part of them making it to the finals and winning. Most Improved Player, I have Lonzo Ball. I think he's going to have a great season with the Pelicans, even though they're only going to win a handful of games and be the 10th seed. Well, not a handful. That's still quite a lot of wins to get the 10th seed, but yeah. And at Coach of the Year, I have Doc Rivers just because he's a good coach. He was a candidate last year for Coach of the Year. He didn't get it. He lost to Mike Budenholzer, but that's fine because he'll win it here. So, yeah, these were my NBA predictions. If you guys did enjoy this, please leave a like and subscribe. Do not dislike it just because you don't agree and I had your, favorite team not making the playoffs, even though, they're Hornets or something. But, yeah, if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, goodbye.